Hello everybody and welcome to the Christmas calendar with Captain Future. Day 26, prototyping the future. This is the second day of Christmas and the last episode of this Christmas calendar. That has been an amazing journey for me. Even self-discovery and refining of me and going into my own insights and your insights and so much good feedback and the whole process of doing this has enhanced so many things in me and probably you too if you have been following me. And I'm going to talk about what my plans and our plans and how we design the future going forward in the last days of this year and next year 2017. And here are all my notes for these episodes and the future, so I'll be looking down on those a lot. The future or the next year is the theme, prototyping the future. It's actually our coming hashtag and theme for the Impact Journey and Nordic Impact Week in October and all the cool events we're gonna do this year. I'm gonna start now by launching myself and my company, Sillion Valley. It's not a place, it's a mindset, so I will bring Sillion Valley with me and to you going into this future when we design it. We're going to use what are called ontological design. I have a whole episode about that. Ontological design is everything we design us back in turn. That is everything we invent and produce and build, all from mindsets to cities to products to exploration and journeys. Everything we do and design in turn affects us and designs us back as humans. So our mind is outside. I talked about this yesterday, the man in me, and also read an interesting article about this just today about our mind are defined as bigger and outside our head. So in that, the more I get around this, the more excited and awesome I'm going to be for next year when we're going to do things on a whole new level of awareness. And I've been talking to many of you, my friends, you know who you are, about this, that the next year we're going to actually design a better society and system together. It's all about redefining and designing our systems here on our Spaceship Earth. Check out my episode about Spaceship Earth as well. We live on a rock going around our sun in our solar system, and this rock, this is a object going for space, and it's actually a spaceship, and as such we have very little caretaking and design and crewmanship about how we take care of this vessel of ours, because we are now the main factor in how we shape both geology and biology on this planet, and we are on our verge of a mass extinction as an unprecedented rate, and we have to turn all that around and actually take care of this vessel and treat it like a spaceship. And in that we need crewmanship training and train ourselves how we collaborate and actually solve our challenges and problems to go on this endeavor together. And this is what this is all about, training ourselves to become this crewman. I want to start something like a future dojo or a Spaceship Earth crew academy or something, start prototyping experiment. Can we actually design a school or a course or a mindset where we actually define ourselves as crewmanship of Earth and actually dig into what skills we need? I've been talking a lot about it, training our body, our physical shape, and eating and sleeping better, more nutrition and better health, and taking care of our brain, actually train it, learning more skills, actually meta training of our cognition skills and synapses like I do with my board gaming. I talked about that. Training your heart, your empathy, compassion, and awareness towards other people, building good connections and community and connecting with people, training our spirit as well, and mindfulness. And spirit is the part of us that built in, that is often used for religion in traditional and history. We use religion to knock into our spirit, what we believe in, what we hold sacred and such. And but the religion is very old paradigms and stories that not suited for a modern society and humanity. And but still there's a part of us, our soul, our spirituality, that's hijacked in there are actually centers in the brain for this that treats things and connections and your tribe as sacred objects, and that can be hijacked if you're not careful. So we have to design a better system and society for our spiritual parts, what we hold sacred and what we believe in together. And of course, I believe in everything I talk about in my episodes in my Christmas calendar. And yesterday I talked about many me, that we are many parts, so we can train certain parts of our brain, and not train other parts, like being angry and lashing out and being destructive and complain a lot. We can train the other parts of us that are constructed, innovative and silly and joyful and such, and train all those parts of our personalities and emotions and such in a good way. Like Dalai Lama said, there's a good anger that makes us frustrated and want to do things, but there also the bad anger that makes me angry at the world and persons and such. And we have to be aware of that and recognize that in ourselves. That's probably one of the most difficult tasks and skills we need to learn. I want to do more about all this. I'm going to go into the course of evolutionary leadership with Fyodor Manuel. I'm going to finish and delve into the ULAB course, of course, the theory you have that. Theory you. I will dig into my geekiness, of course. I want to do the launch event for Ghost in the Shell and do some cool launch event for Marvel, so other movies and geek happenings over the year, where we actually weave in everything I talk about in a subtle or not subtle way. And of course, the Star Wars premiere, I talked a lot about this. I got the Darth Vader comics as for Christmas, and geeking out around lots of this cool. There's the Star Wars premiere in December and a lot of cool events. And how can we use this storytelling, the main invention of humanity going into the future, and actually use stories and all the thing that's is hidden within story, and that the brain works. So check out my episode about storytelling if you want to know more about that. So that's one thing I'm all going to do, and all this comes together. I talked about I'm going to do more future lunches and events like this. Coming up now next is the Seventh Sense. That's my cat down there, if you were. My Seventh Sense future lunch. I had version 2 here in Varberg. I'm going to do that in Gothenburg and Halmstad, maybe Stockholm as well, or some other city. Just talk to me and invite me. We'll do something, and I will do Google Hangouts around this as well. And I'm going to go to lots of cool events and just evolve every thought about this and try to dig deeper into this. And I live here on the west coast of Sweden, south of Gothenburg, north of Malmö, in a part called Halland. It's a west coast beachy area with a lot of companies, but also we are not that aware of the rest of the world in many ways. But my hometown here, Varberg, right now is a fairly aware town about meditation and mindfulness and massage and yoga and many of this spa. This is an old spa town. So there are many awareness around this. So this we can build on, maybe use that in some way. And we want to create a whole network and platform here in Halland called Innovation Halland, maybe with some houses or something to bring entrepreneurship and companies on the forward track into the future with all this skill and knowledges. So that's something I want to dig into deeper as well, creating some platform or some house here in Halland, where as a base, an academy, a future dojo, or an innovation house like the Nordic Innovation House in Silicon Valley in San Francisco. I'm going to continue forward with my podcast, Framtidspodden, the future part. I talk to a lot more people of this now. I feel on a whole new level with my English, as I've been practicing a lot new during December, so I can talk to people about this. I know all the terms and all the words that I stumbled to find before. I can find them much easier now when I talk to people about the future in English. So I'm going to continue doing my podcast, and of course this video. I will do this, but not every day perhaps, but in some way or form I will continue doing a lot of content in English just to practice and just to dwell deeper and give you, my community, more about the future around this. We're gonna check there gonna be some cool events in Sundsvall, and we have a Catapult in Oslo, and we have Almedalen, and we're gonna do a Mars event maybe here in Varberg, and there's California, the big summer surfer lifestyle, yoga, spirituality, skate, swimming, everything event this summer in here in Westcote in Varberg, Halland. I'm gonna see what I can do to make that a better awesome event. I've been participating and that, and doing some makerspace, and I've been live reporting and such around that. I'm gonna continue doing workshop and public speaking, keynotes, and everything I talked about in my Christmas calendar. I would love to do workshops and public speaking and keynotes. So if you at all interested and can come host a workshop, or I can do an inspirational speaking around everything I talk about here in this episodes when I sum everything up. So in this episode, if there's something you're interested, we can talk about that. And as workshops, I really want to dig deep and talk about all this. So what more? Sillion Valley, Spaceship Earth, Crew Academy, 7 Cents, yeah, we talked about that. Mars event, geek events, yeah. Board gaming, I want to do more board gaming with my friends, and if you're curious and new to board gaming, I can come and teach you and bring some of my simplest and most fun board games around this. So that's gonna be fun. I'm actually going to the Essen Spiel event in October as well, next year for the first time. This is the world's largest board gaming event with over 100,000 people. I think around 40,000 visitors, and people from all over the world coming together. And lots of cool new designer board games are launched there. I think around 800 designer board games, and lots of other small children and family games as well. So that's gonna be cool as well. I think I've covered most of it, and please, you as my community and dear listener and everyone, comment on my videos, contact me. We can do a Google Hangout or Meetup if you're close, and we can meet in an event, or we can actually go become partners and start prototyping everything I've been talking about. Everything I'm talking about, I want to prototype and test out and see what works and what doesn't, and give all my energy and being you together with you. I'm not doing anything of this, mostly anything of this alone. Even my future lunches, I need guests and people involved. I do mostly listening during my lunches, because I ask interesting questions, and I want to see what people think about this, and there are always lively discussion around different topics and questions I do on my lunches. So everyone is participatory, contributing to everything I'm talking about here. I think I covered most of it. So with this, I give you thanks for staying with me, and if this is your first episode, go back and check out some of my old cool episodes that sound cool or something, and together we will create this future. This is gonna be such an awesome year when I finally know the direction we're going, because the future is not a destination, it's a direction. We're going into the future unknown. We're gonna travel. I'm, as a Captain Future, or a navigator of the future. We don't know where we're going, but we will know in what direction we're going. We don't know where we're gonna end up, because the future is uncharted, and this is gonna be exploration and endeavor. Captain Future signing out. See ya in the future soon. I'll be back.